Hi everybody, today we're going to be going over the rules for Dixit. This is a board game by Bibalud Games. It's a 3 to 6 player game, ages 8 and up, and gameplay time is usually about 30 minutes. The goal of Dixit is to earn the most points during the course of the game, and players will earn points by associating words and phrases with pictures on cards like the one seen here. To set up the game, first each player will select a bunny. In this example, we have 4 players. Then each player will take the voting tokens which match the color of their bunny. The scoreboard is placed in the middle of the table, and place the bunnies on the start square of the board. Once all the bunnies have been placed, shuffle all the Dixit cards and place them on the table. This pile will be referred to as the draw pile. Once all cards have been shuffled and placed in the draw pile, deal 6 cards to each player. Select one player to be the active player and begin the game. Dixit is a game played in rounds. At the beginning of each round, the active player will select one of the 6 cards from their hand and give a clue to describe the card. The clue can be a word, multiple words, a phrase, a poem, a proverb, a movie title, etc. Basically, anything the active player would like to use to describe the card. In this example, the player has chosen this card and will give the clue, classic competition. Once the active player has placed their card face down on the table, the other players will select cards that they feel match this description. Once all players have placed a card, the active player will shuffle the cards and place them alongside the numbers on the board. Once the cards have been set, the non-active players will use their voting tokens to vote for which card they think was the active player's card. Once voting is complete, voting tokens are placed face up next to their corresponding cards, and scoring can begin. If all players have guessed the active player's card, the clue given was too obvious and the active player gets 0 points. Other players get 2 points. If no players find the active player's card, the clue given was too cryptic, and the active player still gets 0 points, with other players again getting 2 points. In this scenario, non-active players also get 1 bonus point for everyone who guessed their card, instead of the active player's card. If at least one player, but not all players, find the active player's card, the active player has provided a clue that is just right, and they're rewarded with 3 points. In this scenario, all players who have correctly identified the active player's card are also awarded with 3 points, and an additional bonus point for each vote their card has received. In this example, the active player's card was placed in position 1, and was voted on correctly by the green player and the red player. This means the active player's white bunny moves forward 3 points, and the red bunny and green bunny move forward 3 squares as well. In this example, the red bunny gets an additional point since the blue player incorrectly guessed her card in square number 4 instead of the active player's card in square number 1. At the end of the round, all cards played in the round are placed in a discard pile. Each player draws a new card from the Dixit pile, making sure they have 6 cards total in their hand. The role of active player moves 1 player to the left, and a new round begins. The game ends when either one bunny makes it to 30 points, or the last card from the draw pile is drawn. If no bunnies make it to 30 points by the end of the game, the bunny with the most points is the winner. For games with only 3 players, there are a few modifications to the rules. In games with 3 players, each player is dealt 7 cards instead of 6. Each player takes 5 voting tokens, and non-active players play 2 cards each round instead of 1. So those are the rules for Dixit. If you have thoughts on game strategy, or some ideas for clues you might give to the cards given in this video, please comment below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and give me your money.